Hey guys, I'm Phil in the Blanks. Welcome back to Let's Play Donkey Kong 94. We are so close to the end. We're in the Rocky Valley, the second to last world in the game. Last episode I was kind of talking about the new Super Mario Bros. Games, and specifically the theming, and how now they have like mountain levels and stuff, which are very cool. They're among my favorite levels. Maybe I should start talking about this game. No. That was still gonna, well, I mean, it's still Mario, so whatever. At least it's in the same vein. I mean, last episode I was also talking about Mega Man, which makes zero sense. I am wondering what they're gonna do with 2D Mario games. Wow, that was stupid. Jeez, Phil. Yeah, so I think, anyways, the last 2D Mario game they released was New Super Mario Bros. U, and that was in 2012. If you really want to get specific, then it's actually the expansion to that, which is New Luigi U. And the big rumor right now is that New Super Mario Bros. U is going to be re-released on the Switch, which is fine, I guess. I'm not against that. I think the idea of them releasing all their big Wii U games on the Switch makes such good business sense because no one played the Wii U. I mean, hell, Mario Kart 8 outsold on the Wii U version with its Switch sales in like 3 months? It was ridiculous. So I totally get why they're doing it. That being said, why the hell New Super Mario Bros. U and not Mario 3D World? And I do think they'll sooner or later re-release Mario 3D World on the Switch because it just makes sense, especially if you add in like some New Donk levels, New Donk City levels or something. But my problem with them re-releasing New Super Mario Bros. U is why? Like, just in general. With Mario Maker, probably one of the biggest games on the Wii U. Definitely its most, maybe not in terms of sales, but I think it's the one that, like, I think it defines the Wii U a lot more than a lot of other games. It's like the game that the Wii U was, like, made for was Mario Maker, and it's the one game that, like, holy shit, yeah, the tablet looks so good for this. And because of Mario Maker, what does Mario U have to offer? I know that it's not like all the levels in Mario U. Oh, this level's kind of cool. It's a very puzzly. It reminds me of the ones from the desert. And shit. Probably because it also looks like it's one from the desert too. Because it's like that interior thing. It's like a tomb or something. It's kind of cool. It's like underneath there in that weird like marsh. But anyways, I know that you can't really make the Mario Brothers U levels in Mario Maker, but you can get pretty damn close. You can get pretty creative. And the whole thing about Mario Maker is that, I mean, other than the fact that Mario Maker did not add slopes, it makes a lot of Mario 2D Mario games obsolete in the sense that, well, if I can make them, then Nintendo needs to really up their game with 2D Mario games. And my whole thing with that was that, and I've always said this since Mario Maker was like a thing, that the next big 2D Mario game will have to be completely different. From the ground up, completely new. Something that Mario Maker cannot emulate. At least very well. Enough to make it really stand out from that. Like, let's give Rayman and Sonic as an example. Rayman and Sonic games are 2D platformers, but you can't really recreate those levels and that idea and that feel in Mario Maker. So a new 2D Mario game needs to do that same idea where it needs to be something that Mario Maker cannot do. So, what's the point of releasing Mario U? And I mean, I'm hearing a lot of people like, well, Mario Maker's basically dead now. And that's fairly true. I mean, whatever, it basically is. But sooner or later, they're gonna release Mario Maker on the Switch. And a lot of people have been like, well, why the hell haven't they already? I screwed this up. Jeez. Kill myself. I missed the seed. Welp. Just gonna hang out. Alright, there we go. Boink. Yeah, they're either gonna re-release Mario Maker, or if they're smart, they're gonna make Mario Maker 2. Or Mario Maker Deluxe, or whatever the hell they want to call it. And it should be, I wouldn't say built from the ground up, but it needs to be a hell of a lot more than Mario Maker was. Mario Maker was incredibly well done, but it was also extremely limited. And a new Mario Maker game needs to have a lot less limits. So that's why I think Mario Maker isn't out yet. Another reason is why is I think they might just be pushing the idea of not having a Mario Maker game on the Switch as much as possible, as long as possible, so that they can still release 2D Mario games. it's a catch-22 with Mario Maker. Like, I don't think Nintendo is prepared to completely redo 2D Mario, like, ideas from the ground up. Ah, my god, damn it. Ah, shit, I could have just... So I'm so used to getting all 3 items that I just instinctively grab the super hammer and try to go to the top, but I could have easily just... I'll show you guys what I mean in a second. So anyways, that's my little rant on Mario Maker. I don't know why I kind of went off on that. My whole thing is that I'm curious as to what Nintendo's going to do, because they're very stubborn. So I don't know if they're going to want to redo everything from the ground up with new Mario games, or they're just going to say, whatever, people are still going to buy this, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so I'm going to wait for DK Jr. down there to stop being a jerk. I could have just done this. That would have been way easier. I'm so used to just going the other way around. I didn't even get the friggin' purse or whatever, so I completely missed out on the bonus area. Not that it mattered. Sometimes I think I'm crazy. Oh, here's a cool level. I like this one. I wish there was more of this, because it actually reminds me of Mario Land. In Mario Land, and a little bit of Mario Land 2 in Mario Zone, you can just kind of... shit. Get hit by boulders and die a terrible death. No, you can just climb on the boulders and just hang out on them as they carry you across the spikes. So I don't like how this is not a mechanic that you see often at all. I think this... I'm trying to think now. I don't think you see this mechanic again in this game. I'm not 100% sure on that. You just go up. And be careful. And there you go. And unlike barrels, they won't go down that ladder, so you're completely safe. Huh. Saw that. I never realized that they don't... I don't think they ever do that again in this game. Oh, whatever. So seeing how we're like almost 7 minutes into the episode, and I've only done 5 levels, we're probably going to end this at the tower. Usually, I feel like I've been doing like 16 levels per episode, but I'm slowing down a bit because the levels are getting a bit longer and I'm dying a lot more. So I have a feeling that I'm just going to get to the tower, we'll call it an episode. Plus, I mean, with the tower being the last level, last world, and there's not that many levels in the tower, next episode might be a little bit shorter depending on how long it takes me, so. Damn you, Donkey Kong Jr. Damn you. He's gonna throw mushrooms. Come on, throw mushrooms at me, man. There we go. I actually want that right now, because instead of traversing through the waterfall, I'm just gonna go underneath. Or just get my face planted. So yeah, you just go underneath here. I'm probably gonna... Yep, didn't make it in time. If you were smart, if I was smart, and just waited a little bit longer, I could have made that whole way, but whatever. It's easier to navigate this one fish and not 2 fishes. Not red fishes, not blue fishes. I have been filling the blanks, and I thank you for joining me on what is clearly the highlight of my channel with that joke. Shit. Ah, crap. Like, I'm just gonna hit... No, that one's gonna avoid me. Crap. No! Damn it! Oh, good! Oh! Ah, shit. Okay, well, at least the key's not gone. Yeah, the big problem here is because DK Jr. likes to throw them directly at me. There we go. You kind of gotta lead the mushrooms away. I wonder what happens if I hit... I never thought of that. I wonder what would happen if I actually went to where DK Jr. was and actually, like, tried to hit him. Huh. Well, it's too late now. Crap. Oh, the game does actually have a level select, so you can kind of go back every 4 levels if you want to, so I could try that on my own time. Whatever. This is the level I was talking about back in the desert world. Instead of going up, you're grabbing the key at the top and then going all the way down. This is actually a lot easier. You just gotta be smart about it. There you go. Who cares if you drop the key? If you drop the key will just be at the bottom of the level, which you'll just go get anyways, so who cares? You can't, like, completely die on springs anyways. I mean, obviously it lands like it's about to land, but I mean, do what I did. There you go. Easy. Easy. If you died here, you suck. No, I'm just joking. I've probably died at every single level, especially when I was speedrunning this game. I probably died at least 4 or 5 times on each level. I even had restarts on the very first level, which is super easy because it's 4 backflips in a row. That's it. That's the entire level. And I probably had to restart on that one like 10 times. But yeah, it's kind of weird how, like, we're so near the end of the game, and the levels are clearly getting more difficult, but some of them are still fairly easy. This one's actually kind of interesting. It's entirely a speed level. You're probably not going to die in this level, because, I mean, the oil can hurt you, and that spike can hurt you, and a fall can hurt you. But, I mean, don't duck in the conveyor belt, don't get near the oil, and don't fall. You know, that's it. So first I'm going to grab this one. Set up a ladder over here. I'm going to grab this guy up here while I'm getting the key. There we go. So, because I'm resetting times and stuff like that, I leave the bottom... Oh, shit. I leave the bottom one to last because that gives me the most... I screwed it up. It gives me the most time for my ladders, but it doesn't matter because the key's going to disappear. So it's all about maintaining the timing for ladders so that they don't disappear on you, which is why you always leave the bottom one till last. And then you get the key, and you gotta make sure you make it to the ladders in time before the key disappears. Which is why you don't leave the one to the left, because that is more time that Mario is maneuvering without the key. And the more time without the key, the faster the key, like, the more chances the key will disappear. There we go. Please make it. There we are. Very, very cool. And I think that's the last timing-based level in the game. I believe, anyways. Because we're actually almost done all the regular levels of the game. There's only 3 more regular levels. The rest are all Donkey Kong levels. Because the whole... Ah, shit. This is a cool one. I like this one a lot, too. Damn you. There we go. Ah! Watch out. Perfect. Easy. The last world, the tower world, every level is a Donkey Kong level, which I think is super interesting and very, very, wow, word just escapes me. It's fitting. It's very fitting. Oh my god, Mario's dead. So even though most of these things are tutorials, that's not a tutorial. Mario dies if he hits lava. And I get the whole point is that, like, hey, don't touch lava. But don't expect to be jumping around a lot in lava because you will die. So here we go. The last 3 regular levels of Donkey Kong 94. And I think they all have lava in them. And each of the levels from now on will have the tower in the background getting slightly bigger. I love it. It's such a good idea. Such a good idea. Yeah, I think there's lava down there, so I'm just going to put this platform here. Yeah, lava down there. So even though there's not a volcano level, which is something I complained, I believe, last episode, this is the closest thing we get. But yeah, you never get like an underground world. I'm gonna shot right in the face. Yep, point blank in the face. There's no volcano level, and there's no like cave level or world, anyways, which is interesting. I don't know. I think this game is so fun that they could have made like 5 more worlds, like different themed worlds. Like here's a volcano world, here's a cave world, here's a factory world. I think that would have been really cool. Like, and to be honest, Mario vs. Donkey Kong does switch it up a little bit. There's like the regular, like, it's like a grass area, which I guess is like the city. There's a haunted mansion, which I've never been a fan of the haunted mansion things in Mario games, but that one's not too bad. I believe there's like a castle, like a Bowser's Castle style world, which is interesting. And I think there is also a factory. I'm not 100% sure, because there's a few different things in Mario vs. Donkey Kong, and then there's a couple of sequels to that game. This is an interesting level. It's all about hitting those switches in the right order. So this one first, which gets a little bit of the platform down there. Gonna go across here, which opens that gate and closes that gate. But I want that open, I believe, yeah. Because I think that also opens this one over. Yeah, it opens the one that was locked to my left. This one does nothing very much for me right now. So right here, point, that meets a platform up there. See, like that. And back. I thought something was going to fall, but I guess not. Oh, that must be... Yeah, that's what that switch is for. Okay. So you get these weird kind of guys. We haven't seen these guys since the ship. You can step on them. So there we go. They fall. Climb down here. Smoke. Ow. Poor Mario. His face is going to get so beat up. That's why his nose looks like that. So I want these rocky guys. I always thought they looked like little tree trunks, but they're not, because then they'd burn up. That was too early. Shit. That was really stupid of me. Well, I'll do that again. Yeah, they're little stones, I guess, because they'd burn up in the lava if they were tree trunks. I mean, that's what wood does. You can see the tower there getting ever so slightly closer. It was the size of, like, a small tile, like, in terms of length, or width. Now it's the size of 2 little tiles, so one of the big tiles. And then it's just going to get bigger in the next one. It's just a cool little thing. I like that a lot. I know I've said a ton of, oh my god, the backgrounds are so cool in this game, blah, 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 blah. But I like the tower thing because it's looming. You know what I mean? It's like, you know that's where you're going. You know that that's your ultimate goal, is to get to that tower with Donkey Kong. So having it constantly there is just a great constant reminder of what's going to happen. It's just cool. I like that a lot. It's just cool that a Game Boy game would do it too, because by this time, 94, games were starting to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like hint at things later on and whatnot. And having a Game Boy game do it was cool, because Game Boy games were so simple back then. I mean, yeah, you had amazingly interesting games like Tetris and whatnot, but Tetris in and of itself is a simple game. It's complex in terms of like what you can do with it, but the idea is like pretty simple. Here's 7 blocks. There you go. And there's more to it than that. I know that. I'm not stupid. But Game Boy games, for the most part, are very not complex. Mario Land 1 certainly wasn't. Mario Land 2, while much more complex than Mario Land 1, isn't as complex. Then Donkey Kong, I find, is this is a fairly complex game for a Game Boy game. I like it a lot. Then you get into friggin' like Pokemon. I love that. You see the towers right there. It's so cool. Careful the fire, of course. You will die. Die horrible deaths in the fire. And, alright, platform. Oh, no. It's weird he doesn't burn. He just kind of does the doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. You think he'd explode into flames like he does with other ones, but whatever. But yeah, excuse me. Tired. For the speedrun, you actually can use the spring down here, and those was messed up. I made a mistake there. You actually like skip this entire level. It's very cool. And screwed that up massively. But yeah, when Pokemon was released in Japan in 1996 and then 1998 here, that was a complex game for the Game Boy. Holy shit. And there were other RPGs for the Game Boy. Final Fantasy Legend 1, 2, and 3. 2 and 3 especially. Holy shit, I'm so impressed with that. Those were on the Game Boy. But it's just cool. I think the Game Boy is one of those, like, I think it's underappreciated. Shit, that is, yeah, I might as well just go all the way into the lava. I think the Game Boy is underrated. When everyone talks about the Game Boy, especially like game historians or whatever you want to call them, like old school game buffs, it's always the same games. It's Tetris and it's Pokemon. Those are the two defining games of the Game Boy. And I'm not disagreeing. Shit, I'm doing so bad. Those are definitely the defining games of the Game Boy. But I find that people forget that among a lot of the crap, because there is a lot of crap for the Game Boy, a lot of times the game would come out, especially in the late cycle of the Game Boy, where it's like the Super NES was a thing, and then the N64 was a thing. They're like, let's try to put the Super Nintendo or N64 game on the Game Boy, and they'd like use like, I think they did like Mortal Kombat, like you could have just used stylized characters, but you tried to put photorealistic characters in a Game Boy game, and that game sucked. So I find a lot of people forget that there are a lot of great games that utilize the Game Boy's hardware to make nice, complex, portable-friendly games. There's one game, and I forget what it's called. It didn't come out in North America. It was a Game Boy, or a Japanese Game Boy game, and you played a spirit. Like at the beginning of the game, you died, and your girlfriend got kidnapped, and you play a ghost, and it's almost Kirby-esque, where you can possess enemies and become the enemies in a platforming game. And it was so cool for the Game Boy, and the Game Boy has a lot of cool games like that no one really talks about, because everyone's just talking about Pokemon and Tetris. But if you have a Game Boy and you don't do a lot of Game Boy collecting, I urge you to try out some Game Boy games. Game Boy games are cheap. They're cheap. Even here in expensive Canada, where it's actually quite expensive to be a collector, I can go to most pawn shops, at least that know what they're doing, and get a handful of Game Boy games for $5 each. And like, obviously, if something like, oh, Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, don't get that. Unless you like that, then go for it. But if it's a game like, I've never heard of this game, is it good? Spend $5, just check it out. You never know if you're going to find a gem. And that's how we find these gems of games, is by getting games that we've never heard of, in hopes that it'll be something really good. Because a lot of good games have been kind of rediscovered because of that. So if you have an old Game Boy, go to a pawn shop and spend $20 on a couple games. That was my random PSA today. But we're going to call it a day today, because the last episode will be next episode on Let's Play Donkey Kong 94. We're going to go up the tower. I'm from the blanks. Oh, let's actually wait till we get to see the transition. I always like to wait to the transition. Come on. 98 lives. Wow, this is the first time in a while that I didn't end a set of 4 levels with 99 lives. I must have died a lot there. So Rocky Valley's done, and now the tower with a big Donkey Kong at the top. I'm from the blanks. Take care, guys.